Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to The Scoop. My name is Graham Day, and I am sat inside the sexy ice cream studio, now full of beer, thanks to the loading bar, with Mr. Bibby.
Good morning, good Friday.
Let's get rid of the nameplates on screen. One thing that we've not even spoken about, but we just kind of did then. We need to make sure that the Scoop entrance music, I know we spoke about this before, but just plays on a little bit.
I need to try and figure out how to do that. There must be like a start and stop button that I can put on that, but I need to make it so that it links in with the end of the start of the intro and then continues for like another 30 seconds.
See, the only way I've been able to figure it out, I mean, if you guys are watching, then please feel free to throw in with your streamer tips. The only way I've been able to figure it out is I had it as a separate file, but it just gets kind of messy. So like you get like the but you're playing it as an audio file while the video file's going. Oh, you're just like what?
Well, that opening music is like the middle of the track as an instrumental. It's not the beginning.
Or loop.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Yeah, I just had to keep on looping
Loop.
So it's not as if we could just press like play and play at the same time because it won't work.
Yeah, we'll figure it out. But anyway, we're going to figure out a lot of other things. This morning, Friday, the 8th of November, you are watching twitch.tv/ice cream uploads.
Yes,
well, actually, it might not be. You might not be. You might be watching youtube.com/ice cream uploads. Either way, this is The Scoop, which we kind of gloss over, but I'm going to mention it. I'm going to mention Ice Cream Scoop. You see what we did there? You see? Anyway, we bring you The Scoop, which is our scoop of all of the news from the games industry and beyond that we want to talk through with you every Monday to Friday on twitch.tv/ice cream uploads. And if you can't be here live in chat having a discussion with us, then you can watch it back a little bit later on youtube.com/ice cream uploads. And later than that, if you don't have time, if you don't have the ability to sit down and watch a video and you just want to listen to something on the go, you can get us right in your ears on 4 of your favourite podcast services: iTunes, Spotify, SoundCloud, Google Play. We are there, you are there. Listen, get it all in, take it in. But we have a few pieces of news. We're approaching the end of week 5 of The Scoop, which is some good running, and we get a lot of viewers and a lot of people in the chat. Only 5 weeks in, so we just kind of want to take a little bit of time to say thank you, guys. Thank you.
Absolutely, thank you very much.
Bibby, I can see him doing social media on the fly. So make sure you check out twitter.com/ice cream uploads if you want to check out our social media posts and Bibby's social mediaing on the fly in person. We'll just open up the Twitch chat since I don't have it open here. I don't know if anyone's even talking to us.
I have the Twitch chat open, but I opened it late. So I apologise if I've missed anybody. But good morning to you all. Hope you got a brew. Hope you're ready for some chatting.
Speaking about brews, let's bring you guys in close. Let's bring you in close. Hi. Oh, camera's kind of out of position.
Whiffed. Go on, you feel free to do that. So as I'm just going to commentate on Graham moving the camera as it gets closer to my face and to what looks like.
There we go. The brew. That's what I was kind of. Look at that, you've done it. It's product placement. Look at the angle in towards the camera. I'm going to disrupt it now and pick this up. So this, ladies and gentlemen, if you check out twitter.com/ice cream uploads, you will have seen a very, very sexy picture posted by Mr. Jeroen from the ice cream team yesterday. This is the new pale IPA from our friends at Loading Bar. No spawn. They've just given us freebies to get us drunk. So yeah, Loading Bar. They have a few bars in the UK, and they are very nice people. But yeah, they now started doing their own canned IPAs. So they've sent us this beautiful, sexy thing. So
very
yeah,
nice.
We've got them as studio decorations. How long they just remain as decorations, we will see. But yeah, there we go. If you are in the chat, obviously, like we said, please feel free to say hello, to jump in, as we just about get ready to jump into some news. One thing I am going to do though is I'm going to do social media on the fly. I'm going to make sure I get that social media post shared. It's been quite an interesting week though, because we've not really been around.
No, so I was in Monday and Tuesday, not in Wednesday, Thursday. Obviously back in today. You did the show Monday to Wednesday. Connor and Luke did it yesterday, and then the Dream Team's back today.
Bam.
Good connection again for the audio listeners. That's roughly about a 9.4.
I'll take that one. That's good. That's a good start to the day. Everything retweeted, everything up and ready. Let's get into some news.
We actually went live on time today as well.
Maybe that's why, chat seems a bit quiet so far because everyone's like thinking, oh, well, they don't start until good 25 past. Sorry, guys. Anyway, we will jump into the news. Nothing waits around, especially not the news. So we will hit our first article of the day, written by Emma Kent at Eurogamer. This is, as you can see, if you're watching on screen, let's just drop the pip down. We'll go down here. Now, let's go the centre of the side. There we go. Pip, for those of you who are not on podcast services, is our picture-in-picture position on the screen. So we have the article on screen now, written by Emma Kent for Eurogamer. It says, China imposes online gaming curfews for kids to prevent addiction. Actually, if you're moving...
There you go, look.
Oh.
Very nearly had it then.
There we go.
There you go.
So I used to think my parents were strict with gaming. That is until I saw new restrictions from the Chinese government, which place significant limits on the amount of time kids can spend in online games. I mean, already not liking this article, but let's go. The South China Morning Post reports that new anti-addiction measures have been outlined by the State Administration of Press and Publications, which is China's gaming regulator. Regulator, even. I sounded like full-on Sean Bean then.
Regulator.
Regulator. O2, we're better connected. And that sort of crap. Anyway, I'll start that paragraph again because I've chatting shit. The South China Morning Post reports that the new anti-addiction measures have been outlined by the State Administration of Press and Publications, which is China's gaming regulator, including limits on spending and playtime in online games. Those under the age of 18 will now be limited to 1.5 hours of play per day, except on holidays when they can play for 3 hours, which must take place between the hours of 8 a.m. and 10 p.m. Spending is being limited too, with kids no longer allowed to spend more than $44.69 on in-game purchases per month, and players under 8 are restricted from purchasing anything at all. And, of course, those too young to play the game under the age rating system will be blocked from access. As China currently has no formal age rating system, it's still unclear whether the system will be used as the same one. The system used will be the same one adopted by Tencent, grouped into ages of 6+, 12+, 16+, or 18+. But a brief by analyst firm Nico Partners adds, this one is the most robust age rating system in China today, and that's via gi.biz. Let's take this paragraph as well. So how is this being enforced? Real name registration systems have been used in PC games since 2007, but last year Tencent introduced an upgraded version backed up by a police database to verify age, and it's this form of system that will be expanded across all games. This database will also be updated to prevent children creating fake IDs to get around the restrictions. Publishers will also have to work with parents, schools and other groups to ensure they are complying with the new regulations. Quite a lot to unpack there.
Yeah, absolutely.
Let's bring it in close again. As I drink my unsponsored brew.
So, to start out, morning D-Mac, hope you're doing alright, pal. I mean, I like the fact that, when it comes to uploading your age and stuff like that, I'd love that to happen on social media as well, so people can't impersonate somebody, they also can't hide behind an alias kind of thing. But I mean, growing up, I used to get my friend, my very good friend Mike, he's 3 years older than me, so if I couldn't buy a game myself, I used to fire him in to go and get the game for me. But I'd hate it then, but nowadays, with the fact that there's microtransactions and you have access to your mum and dad's credit cards to put in game to open packs and stuff like that, I think it is probably the right move.
Thanks for the host as well, D-Mac. Much appreciated. I find it... I don't know. I think there's two kind of issues for me that the balance is. You've got the balance between regulation and safety, and then you've got the balance between freedom of speech and what you think is right for yourself and your kids. So yourself being the kids, and then the parents as well. So that is, I'm always very, very against, intrinsically, against a nanny state society. I don't want government to go, this is how you will do this. Within reason. I don't want them I never want to live in a world where it says, you can't eat fatty foods. It's like, if I want to eat fatty foods, I should be able to eat fatty foods. You can't smoke this. Not that I do smoke, but if I wanted to, then I could. You can't drink this. If I wanted to, then I should. And that I can see why there's obviously those restrictions around obvious stuff that has proven medical impacts, and obviously there's a whole debate about whether gaming is addictive, and I mean, like with anything, I think anything can be addictive. So I'm not against regulation of video games and time spent playing games. However, I feel that should be something that is done in the house. Maybe that's too simplistic. Maybe there is a case that there is a need for external intervention.
But I mean, I've just had a quick skim through the rest of the article just to make sure that what I was about to say isn't already been answered on here. But when you sign up to Xbox Live or PlayStation or something like that, if you are the parent and you're creating a family account, you have the option to let, in your case, your daughter be able to play games over her age. Is that right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so maybe that's what they should have been able to do. They should have said, okay, you're the parent, you're over 18. If you was to create a family account, you'd have yours, you'd have the missus, you'd have your daughters, and if your daughter's under a certain age, you could say, actually, she's probably more mature than her age. She can therefore play a plus 14, plus 16 game if she wanted to, or maybe under my supervision, or at a certain time she's allowed to play it, kind of thing.
There is some external like things. So using a real world example, obviously, I looked into whether children can play games underneath their age rating. Like seeing what the legals are around it, because I know that there was always, I was kind of under the impression that parents can go, no, you can play an 18, I'm not bothered. It's like, okay, are they breaking the law by doing that or not? It turns out they're not.
The same with films as well, isn't it?
Yeah, exactly same. In the safety of your own home and suitably supervised, a parent can make the decision on whether you can play a game that's 18 plus. However, the point of purchase, a kid can't purchase it with a parent going, yeah, give it him. The parent has to buy it and then give it him or her in safety of their own home. So I was like, okay, well, fair enough. Look to this. I play a lot of PUBG. Chloe likes to watch PUBG. She wants to do some duos and stuff, and I thought, cool, some father-daughter fun time. Anyway, created her account, created a PSN account, set up all in her age as you would. I wanted it to be like smart enough to know that she's only your kid, so I've blocked everything off. No one can message you, no one can whatever. So I was like, yeah, this is good, and then upped the age rate and stuff so she could play PUBG. Nice. Got into the game, and then the game was like, oh no, we've seen your date of birth, you're not playing this. So even though PlayStation themselves had gone, oh, well, it's your call if you want to like unrestrict it. PUBG itself said, no, we can see from the age on your PSN profile that you're not old enough to play this game. So,
but is PUBG's owned in China, isn't it?
It's Korea.
Korea.
But Korea, PUBG is owned by PUBG Corp, which is then owned by Tencent, which is a Chinese company, which is the one that's got the age rating model that they're probably going to deploy in China. So interesting.
Well, maybe that's why. Maybe that's why she couldn't play it, because it's owned by a company that's based in China and they already have these restrictions in place. It's already built into the game rather than via the dashboard or...
Yeah, that's what it was. The dashboard themselves have gone, okay, if you turn this off, then your child could play games that are older rating-wise than they are. I was like, fine. I have made this decision. I am going to be supervising my child. I'm happy enough with that decision, but then the game itself was like, nope, which was kind of annoying, but I mean, I can see why.
What do you think of the actual curfew itself, though?
See, that is the bit that fecs me off. I mean, I understand the need or the reasoning behind it, protecting children in terms of... I keep trying to spin my chair and I can't get my...
No, yeah, you have to... There you go.
There we go. So... I understand the reasoning behind it, limiting children to spending £44 or...
It's mad that they have to do that, though, isn't it? They have to put a restriction on your child's account to stop them from spending money that they probably don't own through the game.
I understand where it's come from. Stop that addiction. So we've spoken about it a few times in the past on the Scoop. Loot boxes and that whole addiction element around it. Limiting the amount of money they can put into it kind of maybe puts a curve in that. There is arguments, I believe I've read something in the past that when you have a barrier, then that can fuel the addiction as well. So if it by not saying, okay, you know that you've earned enough to whatever by going, oh, no, you have to stop now. You're cutting them off, and that's making them go cold turkey, which isn't necessarily the best form of countering that. But I understand where it's coming from. The need to want to protect children from getting those gambling tendencies. Fair enough, completely on board with that. But just by going, no, you will not spend more than £44.69, although obviously they've gone more round than that in whatever currency RMB is. I get that. And I get the need that, no, you are spending too many hours of your life in games. You are neglecting chores, work, food, family, whatever. I get that, but the hard stance of 1.5 hours per day sounds good. I mean, if you were watching a film, all right then, a film you can watch. Well, not all films. That's it. You can't even watch a film in an hour and a half. For a lot of the films that I'll watch, 2 hours 10, 2 hours 20, whatever. So okay, you can watch most of the film today and the rest tomorrow.
It's mad though, because the fact that it's under the age of 18. Like, I already had a job when I was 16. As soon as I got my national insurance card, was I in year 10 or year 11? I can't remember. But as soon as I got that, I started working at B&M, so I was already earning some money myself.
At the age of 18, but by the age of 18, you could have a child.
And have a full-time job, and drive a car.
And have your own house.
Yeah.
But not allowed to play more than 1.5 hours of... it's so crazy. It's bizarre.
Well, how do they manage this? Is it like... Did they say something that you'd have to submit your card forward, like to show that who you are?
Well, that's it. I mean, how is this being enforced? Real name registration systems have been used in PC games since 2007, but last year, Tencent introduced an upgraded version backed up by a police database to verify age.
Jesus Christ!
So it's literally nanny stating. The government has said, no, scan your life into this. Log in with your real-world blood-tested, organ-donored ID, and then we can see whether you can play 7 more minutes of Mario Odyssey. It's like, what?
So how do you get to play more then? Do you have to become, like, if you're an esports player, which I would imagine there is probably quite a lot that are under the age of 18, because there is in Europe. So how does that translate over there? Does that class as a job, so therefore they get the opportunity to play more?
The worst thing, like building on from that point as well, is like not only from a professional standpoint, you want to be a guy that wants to be the best in the world at StarCraft. You can't get there by playing 90 minutes a day.
That's one football match.
Yeah, exactly. Filthy. But then building on from that, it's fundamentally throughout that insinuating that gaming and time spent gaming is nothing but damaging. What about schools that have realised that gaming is not only a good way to reach out to children, but is actually a really good way at building skills? Gaming and esports in general builds social skills, builds motor skills, builds memory skills. The idea of problem solving and all of that sort of stuff has been proven many, many times that it adds to a child and their development and their education. It gives you a different avenue to reach out to children. So by just going, nope, 90 minutes, that's going, okay, excellent. That is on a par with... Okay, you're snorting a bit of cocaine, but only as long as you have 1.5 lines a day. That's it. That's fine. It's treating it as if it's something seriously harmful and there is no positive to it, which is, for me, it's disappointing. 90 minutes or 45 quid worth of content currency per day, and that's the end of your time. There's no grey area. It's just 90 minutes, unless it's holiday, then you get 3 hours.
Yeah, it's not as if you can build it up either, so you can go, like, at weekend you can just, on a Friday night you can smash out binge more. Yeah,
but the thing is, as well, is what was the last game you played?
Battlefield. Battlefield.
And if you've just started up Battlefield and the game came out months ago or last year or whenever it was, you've just started it up yesterday for the first time, could you play it and get to a point where you're feeling, okay, I'm starting to get used to the weapons, I'm starting to get used to the maps, I'm getting used to the skill gap from the people that have started playing it already?
Yeah. Well,
could you get anywhere near that?
You could have one game of Conquest and then one game of Team Deathmatch, and that'd be it. So, like, Conquest is about an hour long and Team Deathmatch is about 15 minutes, but then you have to boot in And obviously,
But could you get to a point where you could go, actually, but with the way, I mean, because that's steadfast number ignores anything to do with games and the content and the systems within them. Do you feel that in 90 minutes of picking up a first-person shooter that's been out already and has an established user base, could you get anywhere to the point where you are competitive?
No.
Yeah,
not at all.
Exactly. And
you'd only just be able to finish a campaign in about 5 sittings.
which is ridiculous. It's absolutely ridiculous, in my opinion. And then, not only that, I mean, speaking about campaigns, one of my best games... two different games. Naughty Dog, for example, a new game coming out, obviously, next year, Last of Us 2. The Last of Us, 90 minutes would get you through the prologue and get you about to start the story, and it's turn it off kind of thing. I mean, maybe...
I wonder if it just shuts it down. Like, just the game, the console just goes, boo. Like, just signs you out and you can't do it again.
It's fecking bizarre. Fatman Dave says, so it's going to end up like that bit in Minority Report where Tom Cruise ends up buying someone else's eyes to get around a scanner. Yeah, exactly. Excuse me, can I just... people stood on street corners going, you all right? Do you want to buy some PSN? I've got some Xbox Live, yeah? Good price, sort you out. Mate. So let's quickly wrap up the last comments in the article. So gaming analyst Daniel Ahmad, who I believe is like ZHugeX on social media, told the Post that new changes were in line with expectations. What? In terms of what they expect or what they believe. Anyway, let's carry on. Gaming analyst Daniel Ahmad told the Post that new changes were in line with expectations, given many of these rules have already applied to PC games since 2007 and now being extended to mobile titles. It's not much of a surprise, given that China has steadily been increasing its restrictions on children's gaming time. Last year, President Xi Jinping promoted further restrictions in order to protect children's eyes. Minority Report. Whilst games containing blood, poker, or imperial history will no longer be legal. What the hell? What a mix! Sorry, lads. No blood. Okay, I can get that. No poker. No gambling. I get that. No imperial history. What?
It just didn't happen, did it?
While you think these regulations would have an adverse effect on game publishing in China, Nico Partners predicts it does not expect them to have a material impact on game publishers' earnings and growth. This is because children account for a low percentage of spenders, while similar regulations in the past have had no impact. Something publishers should be more wary of, apparently, is the new approval system, which is now far more restrictive in terms of the quantity of games getting through. In other China-related news... Hey! Ding, 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 ding! Blizzard has recently been accused of prioritizing its Chinese business interest over freedom of speech by suspending Hearthstone player Blitzchung Engwai for expressing pro-Hong Kong views. We should have covered that.
I think we should have done, yeah. I mean, we've had more than one opportunity to.
Opportunities missed. Although the company somewhat apologised for its handling of the issue, Blizzard subsequently announced it will not repeal the bans. If you're interested in learning more about stuff, then read the rest of the article.
Listen to any of the scoop stories in the last month or so.
So, yeah. Interested to hear what you guys in the chat might think of that. Would it negatively impact you if you could only play PES, FIFA, Halo, Battlefield, PUBG, Fortnite, whatever? If you only had 90 minutes of that a day, how do you feel about that?
We wouldn't be in a job.
Yeah, exactly. Absolutely.
We would not be in a job.
I mean, I remember going back to my misspent youth, which absolutely wasn't misspent because I do it for a living now, but spending... I mean, some weeks I would spend all week outside with a football and my parents would never see me. I'd go out at like 10 o'clock in the morning, come back at 10 o'clock at night kind of thing, and just chow down all the food I could eat because of not eating all day. Other days, I would just load up the PS1, whatever, and smash Tekken for like 62 hours in a row kind of thing. So, yeah, I mean, I'd love it at the moment. I hardly get time to play anything. Lies. Every time
he was sending me pictures of his game room the other night.
Has he got a game room?
Oh, mate, have you not seen it?
Send me pictures!
Oh, mate, it's insane. I'll show you here, actually. Oh, we've got some bit of... who else didn't chat? My hamster died the other day. Fell asleep at the wheel. Oh, my God. Oh, that's incredible. I was not expecting that.
Guntaku. My fish also died I don't know what me. Rest in peace, I don't get that one. Why did Sherlock Holmes go to the Mexican restaurant? He was looking for a good quesadilla. Quesadilla? GG's Guns Guntaku. Thank you very much for joining us in chat.
Call me that.
Oh, the hamster one. Do you know what? You started very well. We'll give you that one. GG.
So, for those of you listening on audio services, I'm showing Graham. Craig's.
Little Ned's controller desk.
Yeah. The brightness is a bit shit. Oh, this is great. Great content, but look.
The cheese factory exploded. Debris was everywhere.
So sick.
Yeah, that's pretty nice. It's pretty good.
He's converted the loft.
Although he says he doesn't have any time for gaming. Every time I'm watching, because if we watch Twitch at home, it's on the TV through the Xbox, and bling, Craig logged in. It's like, of course, mate, of course. You can tell me you're watching TV or something. What do you get when you cross the Atlantic with the Titanic?
About halfway. Jesus Christ.
Anyway, moving on into our second news article. I'll let you take this one, Beverino.
Oh, cheers, mate. So this one is on GameSpot and it's been written by Eddie
Makuch.
Thank you. Every single time. Sorry, Eddie. We just like featuring your articles. I just don't have to say your name, mate.
I may have given him because I wanted you to pronounce it there.
So Halo Reach and the rest of the Master Chief Collection will come to the PC when it's ready. Halo the Master Chief Collection is coming to PC at a rate of one game at a time. That's disappointing. I did not know that. While the Xbox version launched before games on PC are also being released and sold individually. Dan Lad Gaming, thank you very much for the 3 months. Appreciate that.
Drug dealer.
I bought some shoes from the drug dealer. I don't know what he laced them with, but I was tripping all day. Some people are wondering what the games are coming, and now Microsoft has reaffirmed that it's taking when it's ready approach to launch schedule. Responding to someone on Twitter, Halo community director Brian Gerard pointed out that Microsoft have never committed to a
What was his name?
Brian. Top marks for not trying. Committed to a firm release schedule for each game in the package. We've never said that anything about the games arriving on PC this year, he said. The current plan is for the first first title, Halo Reach, to release by the end of 2019. Decent. Even though it's not locked in, we've been consistently saying that we'll be ready when it's ready. We certainly hope that Reach arrives by the end of the year, but much depends on its flighting outcomes. When it's ready, it'll launch, Brian said. After the Halo Reach, the Halo games in the Master Chief Collection will release in chronological order: Halo Combat Evolved Anniversary, Halo 2 Anniversary, Halo 3, Halo 3 ODST.
What does ODST stand for?
I have no idea, but that's my favourite Halo game. No joke.
One dodgy soundtrack. Nope. Go on, you keep reading. I'm going to Google it.
And finally, Halo 4, and that's the one that I haven't played because I think that one came out on the Xbox One, which I don't have. It's understandable that some would feel frustrated that it's taking so long for the Halo games to come out on PC. On the other hand, Microsoft does not want to repeat the mistakes of Halo's MCC's Master Chief Collection terrible launch on the Xbox One, so taking the right time to make sure that the releases come out well and good is the right course of action. Okay, so now I am...
Craig's just dropped it in, even though I just found it on Google anyway. But
Orbital Drop Shock Troopers. That's so weird. Anyway, does this mean that you have to buy them individually, or they're going to release them individually, or are sold being released and sold individually? How can it be a Master Chief Collection if you're buying them individually? That doesn't make sense.
PC titles are being released and sold individually.
So how can it be a collection if you're buying one at a time? Because when you bought the Master Chief Collection on Xbox One, they all came together, didn't they?
That's like saying, do you know what? Bargain price, I've got some good news for you. This is a sandwich that you can buy now for £3. You give me £3 and I go, nice, there's your first piece of bread. Oh, no, not even that. That's not even me giving you £3.
That isn't the right one.
That's me going, here's a sandwich. Do you want it? You going, yeah. You go, okay, but 50p for the piece of bread.
Yeah.
The lettuce will follow.
Here's a collection of beers. It is a crate of 24.
And it's a full collection. They all complement each other. They're all really good, and one follows on from the other. Nice. You can get the full collection, piece by piece. It's like Part Works when you buy the Harry Potter train set. Part 1 is available now in your retailer. It's £4.99. You're like, nice. Part 2 is £2,456 and will last for 2,776 parts. Anyway, jumping back through the chat. What do you? Oh no, we've done that one. That summer we spent 2 days straight on Mario Kart. Then Dad took the plug off the TV. Yeah. Bad times. Me and David just spent hours playing, pretty much anything. We had fits and starts. What about, I think it was Command & Conquer Red Alert on the SNES, where we'd spent forever, like, building bases, firing missiles backwards and forwards. Anyway, did you hear about the corduroy pillows? I hear they're making headlines.
I remember my mum cut the plug off my TV. Not because I was playing games too much, but because I was being a little bastard. It taught me how to wire a plug, though.
I mean, absolutely. Let's do this. Fix size. What do you got there? I remember during my GCSEs, my mum took away all my games. Little did she know it still had Pez in the tray.
Ding.
The Xbox version came out, and I'm sure Reach came later on, but it was free if you had the original collection.
Right. Okay, but still, like, if I'm paying, I don't want to be paying £40 each for these games when I know I could just buy an Xbox One and get the Halo and get the collection for £40. That doesn't make any sense.
It is daft. I mean, I'm on board with them going, oh, do you know what? It's ready when it's ready. Because that means you're getting a game that is ready. By definition, ready means, okay, it's good to go. Not, well, we can make money on it if we just throw it out. Like, we covered Saints Row 2. That was thrown on PC and it was shit. They're redoing it now and it's... have they done it now or is it coming?
No, I bought it after that actually because I seen it was on GOG for £2, but they found the source code, didn't they? So they said that it'll be ready when it's ready, but we've got it and we'll look into sorting it out so that you have a better experience playing it on PC. Going off that as well, did you hear the story about Alien Colonial?
All the time. All the stories.
The story about aliens, colonial marines. So that game got released and it just reviewed incredibly bad because it was shit. It's like it wasn't finished. However, someone in the community many years later found that they'd missed one letter of the coding.
Yeah, I didn't know it was that game, but I do remember it, and that they tweaked it and it fixed the whole thing.
Yeah, so like the aliens would actually appear as they should do, and the one stuck against the wall or something like that. So if it got brought out at the time again with the fixed code, it would have reviewed a hell of a lot better. But it's just small things like that. It's mental, but I agree. If it's ready to go, you can get it out the door. But how can you call something a collection that you've already released on a previous console, but then sell them individually?
Yeah, that
doesn't make any sense.
If they're saying that the collection is coming out separately and you buy it in parts, then it's just daft wording. That's like playing on product awareness. You've heard of the Halo Master Chief Collection? Well, you can buy the collection in full, individually, so not as a collection on PC. That's them probably, I assume, playing on the fact that customers have heard of the Master Chief Collection. They want the Master Chief Collection, so by giving them those words, you're essentially playing to things that they already recognise and want. But if they'd have just said, okay, all of the games within the Master Chief Collection will be coming to PC, however, they will be coming staggered and released at the point they are ready. So the collection will be available separately. Saying it that obviously is literally like, okay, the whole series is coming. Boom, there you go. That way you're still getting your name drop of the Master Chief Collection, but by saying it's coming, but it's going to be separated. I
would still easily front up the 45, 50 quid. If I knew they was all coming together, even though they was going to release them individually, I would 110% still pay because I want to play it on my PC. Like I don't have an Xbox anymore. Sorry, I haven't got an Xbox, so I can't play these. But if they said, right, okay, it is coming out, it's going to come out individually, but the collection will, once it arrives, it'll just go into your folder, ready for download whenever you want it. So yeah, I would much rather do that. But it's just playing on the Halo Master Chief Collection name for the sake of they've already released it kind of thing. Yeah, it's dumb. But yeah, I'm still looking forward to playing it. I mean, when Halo ODST comes out on PC, I'm going to be all over that.
Well, as this comment here says, it's understandable that some would feel frustrated that it's taken so long for Halo games to come to PC. On the other hand, Microsoft does not want to repeat the same mistakes of Halo Master Chief Collection's terrible launch on Xbox One, so taking the time to make sure the releases come out well seems like the right course of action. Which I agree with, but it's not really a collection. So the collection that's not a collection, you just got to collect them to make the collection.
Like you said, it's like the magazines that used to get like one piece of, I don't know,
72.
Yeah,
part works, and you realise
the Millennium Falcon.
You can build the Millennium Falcon, and it's usually like £200 in your shop, but you can buy it with it, and you're like, oh, nice. And then by the end of it, you've spent 780 quid. It's like, not only have I spent 780 quid, but it's taken me 2.5 years to get the fucking thing. Anyway,
it is dumb.
From one game on the Xbox to another game that you kind of can get on the Xbox is now coming elsewhere. So load this in. This is a Kotaku UK
Don't know
news
why the picture hasn't
article.
loaded up.
Yeah, mine hasn't either. Dodgy website. Can't say Kotaku. Written by Stephen Totilo. The Outer Worlds will soon will be out on the Nintendo Switch sometime in the first 3 months of 2020. No idea where I got the word "soon" from there, but okay. The Outer Worlds will be out on the Nintendo Switch sometime in the first 3 months of 2020. Nice. Just repeat the title as the first line of the sentence. GG. According to publisher Take-Two, narrowing the earlier promise for a release sometime in 2020. Okay, there we go. I was like, what year do we think this is coming out of? I mean, we are one sentence into the news article, and I'm kind of getting the impression that it's in 2020.
Where are you getting that from?
I mean, I don't know. So, okay, I'll read that sentence again, because it does make sense. It's just the repetition of the numbers is just ridiculous. The Outer Worlds will be out on the Nintendo Switch sometime in the first 3 months of 2020, according to publisher Take-Two, narrowing the earlier promise for release sometime in 2020. In an update to investors today, the company also announced the delay of Kerbal Space Program 2 to sometime between April the 1st, 2020 and March 31st, 2021.
Oh, is that the whole art? That's the whole article.
Wow. Okay. Well, lots to talk about there.
That's why it's got no picture.
One of my friends used to call Colonial Marines alien retardation after Isolation came. Well,
so the Outer Worlds, and it's a game that we've talked about quite a lot. It's a game that I personally have been excited for, and I think there's a few people in the ice cream team as well that are also excited for this game to come out. The fact that it's coming out on Switch makes it a lot better for me personally, again, because we've talked about this. I feel like we go over the same ground, but obviously we get new listeners every day. But yeah, I like the fact that I can play it handheld, dock it, play, on the TV when Samantha goes up to bed, or I can sit there on the couch like I sent you a picture last night and played Skyrim on the sofa with my Switch. For me at the moment, it's the best way to play games, barring them being on my PC, where you can actually play with like a high res game, 60 frames a second, blah blah blah.
I think we need to see the picture of Bibby on the couch.
No, I will post it on Twitter. Follow me on Twitter. I'll post it on Twitter later on and show you my ingenious actions. Graham is scrambling to find the button of us. There you go. Boom.
What is that? Is that toast?
Yeah, it's toast on my head. I pissed up a few years ago and thought I got one piece of toast in my mouth and one piece of toast on my head. But yeah, it's normal Friday night. But yeah, I mean, I love what I've seen so much of the Outer Worlds. I haven't seen everything because I want it to be a nice little surprise when I get into it. But yeah, definitely. I want to see what it's going to run like on that though, because like it's got a weird art style. So it'll be interesting to see how they try. I mean, they've done it with Doom and Wolfenstein, so I can't see why they haven't done it with this. But I've got Skyrim on there, which is easily like an 100-hour game. This you could probably do in about 40 or 50 hours, but it's just something a little bit different. We haven't had a Borderlands kind of Fallout game on this yet on the Switch, so it'd be nice to be able to take something like that with me.
Is there no? I didn't realise that. I didn't know that there was no Borderlands or Fallouts on Switch. I mean, it doesn't. Now I'm saying it out loud. It doesn't surprise me because a lot of games, Switch is only getting to that point where not so much developers, but third-party developers are going, oh, actually, do you know what? We can port this, or developers are going, actually, we can use other people to port things to Switch and do good ports. So we're finally starting to get a catalogue of games rolling out on Switch that is decent. But I didn't realise that we just had no Borderlands or Fallout content on Switch.
It's weird that they haven't put a Borderlands on though, because we had that on the Vita. We got Borderlands 2 on the Vita, which was brilliant actually. It run really, really well. Really enjoyed it, apart from having to use the back paddles, like the touchscreen at the back for certain things like melee and throwing grenades and stuff like that. But it ran really well on the Vita, so I'm surprised that they haven't been able to bring it. I mean, it could be in the works. It could just surprise us at E3 and say it's now on Switch, blah, blah, blah. But yeah, that's definitely I will be picking it up. More games on my Switch going forward, because again, it is like one of my favourite consoles. And the fact that I can play stuff like that, especially if they bring the Game Pass thing over, which has been rumoured.
The Xbox.
Yeah, if they bring that over to the Switch, Jesus Christ, expect that to probably break into the top 2 most selling consoles of all time.
Yeah, that would be pretty. I mean, I can't see it myself, but then again, stranger things have happened, so it would be quite intense. Imagine that kind of then makes Sony go, ooh,
Yeah.
we've gone from sure thing first place to Xbox and Nintendo, Microsoft and Nintendo, like in bed together. That kind of makes you like stand up a little bit. All right, late nice stream, says Guns Gun Taku. Thank you very much for the follow.
Mate.
The other minute as well. If you, I mean, you are new here, that's why you've just followed. We don't have notifications popping up during the stream usually. You may get the audio bits, but just because obviously when we're doing the scoop, we're having a bit of a chat about the games news. But as soon as you've gone, one thing I will do is I'll read through your last joke. My friend was asking about my jokes the other day and was like, does everyone get these gems? And I'm like, sure, just ask my dog who ate the jewellery box.
There's a diamond in every rough. But yeah, I mean, it'll be interesting. I don't think Xbox has got a lot to lose when it comes to stuff like this, because I think Nintendo Switch is on course to be one of the best-selling consoles of all time, whereas Xbox are probably 7th, 8th. Xbox One, probably 7th or 8th, I imagine. So if they was to put their Games Pass stuff onto the Switch, their monetary value will still carry on going up because more people will buy subscriptions to it. So it may end up boosting Nintendo's profile and shares and whatever else that's involved in money and companies. But yeah, I think if there was to do it, it's a win-win, and not being able to pay £50 like Next Gen Renegade said at this game. Did you just read that one?
I didn't read it out.
Yeah.
I was looking at it, but yeah.
Yeah, so he goes on to say, this is a game that I'd likely play on my Switch, but getting it for free on Game Pass, I couldn't bring myself to pay 40 or 50 notes on it again, which I absolutely agree with him, which is exactly why I signed up to Games Pass in the first place, to play with PC, even though I can't play it with PC yet, because of that. Because I could play it for £1. I could complete it for £1.
Yeah, the idea of paying for multiple games on formats, that annoys me. Like paying for GTA on the PS3 and then paying for it again on the PS4.
Well, you wouldn't have to nowadays, would you?
Yeah, exactly.
Because of the cross-platform stuff.
I mean, imagine paying for a game on say like the Xbox and the PC and the PlayStation. Imagine doing that.
I mean, I don't know many people.
PUBG.
Ding ding. If Switch had a Games Pass, I'd definitely be up for that. Exactly. I mean, at the moment, you can get 2 games for £60 at Tesco, which is an absolute steal, especially with its first-party games. That is insane.
I'm going into Tesco tonight to check that. I say that maybe tomorrow.
You can do it online as well.
But
it's available online. Don't have to go to the shop.
That link that we were looking at the other day, it says that only certain games are available online.
Okay.
It's like when I say certain games, it's like Splatoon and one other thing. For everything else, it's in store. And I want Mario Kart. Not Mario Kart, Luigi's Mansion, plus another one. Didn't GTA offer a money off if you had it on the 360 PS3? I
don't think so, because I bought. Then again, I bought it on the 360 and then rebought it on PS4 to play first-person mode.
See, I know they had a progression thing in terms of like your online stuff kind of went with it, or something like that. Maybe I can't quite remember, but I ended up. I mean, I never trade things in. I like games in. I always keep games forever, and then I realise like I'll be like. Looking through a box or the loft or something, I'll see, oh look, Dark Sector, which nobody ever fucking wants to play, but I kept it just because I don't trade games in.
Well, you did it the other day, didn't you, with Bad Company 2, and was talking about where you just whipped out the physical copy of it.
There we go. Yeah. And then had Modern Warfare 2 in the same case as well. Result! But anyway, let's move forward, ladies and gentlemen. Outer Worlds, I mean, I would try it.
It looks amazing. If it plays, because again, we've talked about this a million times on the scoop, but it's made by the same people who did Fallout New Vegas, which is my favourite Fallout game. And it's got a massively updated art style.
It's not made by the same people that made Fallout 76.
Well, that's why it's that's why it's spitting it with a stick. But
so let's jump into the next news article.
We covered this on Tuesday.
Yes, we did, and I was saying, my hot take at the time. Let me bring the article up on screen so you know what we're talking about. Was that should FaZe Jarvis have been banned permanently? And I think we covered it 2 days in a row. I think because on the first day I was kind of saying it's a bit harsh. If he was using it to make content and wasn't using it from a cheating perspective, but then when I had a bit more time for it to sink in, I was like, well, he wasn't just using it for a content perspective, he was actively playing and cheating and then made that into content, so he was ruining other people's games in the process, which then I thought, okay, he definitely does deserve a ban. Should it be a lifetime ban? I do feel...
I think lifetime is a bit dodgy. It definitely should have had an esports ban as well.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, a message needs to be sent for two reasons. One, he is an esports pro, and we don't want esports pro thinking that they can get a free pass. And two, he's a content creator, and we don't want content creators thinking we can get a free pass. We work in esports, and if you can call it this, we are content creators. I mean, this is content, we're creating it right now. You're watching live content creation, ladies and gentlemen, or listening to it. So... yeah, we have an opinion, a relevant one in that sort of sense, and we feel, well, I say we, I'm not speaking collectively, I feel he definitely deserves a ban. Do I feel it should be a lifetime ban? Like I said the other day, I mean, he's 17-year-old, and it's a stupid lack of common sense. Definitely feel that because of his position in an esports org and as a content creator that people are looking at, particularly an esports org like FaZe, if he gets away with it, that sends a poor message. So he does need a ban.
He's got a YouTube channel that's got over 2 million people, which I imagine is usually around. He's a Fortnite player, so we'll take into consideration it's usually between the ages of probably about 8 to his age. Who are watching his content. That's 2 million people that are watching him use hacks within a game, going into somebody else's lobby where he's playing with, I'll say this in air quotes, noobs, because he's not playing in combat mode. He's playing with people who...
casuals.
Yeah, like me. I'm terrible at that game, but that's the only way that I'll be able to play it in that casual mode. I ain't playing it in like ranked mode or whatever. Yeah. And he's going in, he's just
dropping
absolutely...
his headshot, bam!
Yeah, he's just dropping headshots and things like that and ruining everybody else's experience. So, yeah, for me, definitely the ban is 110% the right thing. Lifetime ban, probably not. He definitely should have been banned from esports for 6 to 12 months. I don't know which one he could probably do, but it's a lot of people that are watching his content.
I did see, like, I saw Rod... how do you pronounce his name? Well, I'm not sure. Rod Breslau? Obviously a big name in esports news and coverage. He said that a 3-year ban is probably more suitable. And I'm thinking, even that, because that is...
That's his childhood.
Not only that, look at it from a game's life cycle. Fortnite is probably going to be around for quite a while, but 3 years, Fortnite, I mean, it's already dropping off in terms of the viewership. Yes, they've just had a chat to 2. Yes, everything's peaked up again, but from what it has been, obviously nothing's still close to it, but it's still dropping off in 3 years' time. I mean, look at...
You'd expect something new to be around by then, wouldn't you?
Yeah, exactly. Well, look at... I mean, I mention it all the time. PUBG! But look at PUBG. PUBG got a record for the most people watching on Twitch, and then Fortnite suddenly comes in, and then it's kind of irrelevant. So 3 years kills his whole professional career.
Absolutely.
12 months probably does as well, but I feel that for me, gives a serious slap on the wrist to him, to FaZe, and shows an example to his 2 million on the community. And I think you give the caveat that if at the point he's coming back, he needs to acknowledge that he needs to be pro non-cheating, like not go, okay, I don't cheat, but like actively, verbally, you need to set an example to your community, because they are impressionable 8 to 17 or whatever we're ballparking the age at. They are that impressionable age group. Yeah. So we need you to be the white knight for this now. So you need to say, look, I done fucked up, but then run with it. Anyway, we've had the article on screen. Let's jump in. So Ninja weighs in on the FaZe Jarvis Fortnite ban. Ninja argues there should be some consideration for content creators. Fortnite streamer Tyler Ninja Blevins has weighed in on the news this week that Fortnite Pro FaZe
Fortnite Pro FaZe Jarvis.
Yeah, it's just what an odd place of the link there. Anyway, Fortnite streamer Ninja has weighed in on the news this week that Fortnite Pro FaZe Jarvis received a lifetime ban for cheating in the game. This is an article written by Matt Kim for IGN. Blevins suggested the punishment was too extreme, especially since Jarvis is a known Fortnite content creator. Interesting wording. Whether that's charged or not by the article, let's continue. There's a difference between a content creator who has millions of subscribers, hundreds of thousands of followers, who gets banned from what literally makes him money, and some kid who is just a piece of shit who's absolutely zero following, has zero money that comes from Fortnite, from gaming and hacks.
What an elitist comment for him to say. They're straight away, fuck off, mate. That's going right out the window.
The worst thing is, he's probably somewhere, because I do believe it's not clear cut in that sort of sense. I don't believe content creators. I don't believe anyone should get a free pass. Although I think there is probably something deeper when you dig into it. But when you phrase it like that, no one gives a fuck. no one is gonna deep dive into any of your shit. It's just
there's a way of making a point and saying, do you know what, cutting some slack is only a young kid, but that wasn't the path that he went down. He's like, He's got 2 million subs. That's how he makes his money. So
this ain't it, Chief.
Yeah. It's like, go on.
God.
Nah, you're all right, mate. Piss off.
So
that's not for me.
Keep going. In an 11-minuted, okay, I'm guessing that's in an 11-minute video of Ninja talking about the FaZe Jarvis situation, captured by Daily Clip Central via Greenman Gaming, Blevins discusses how he doesn't feel bad for Jarvis and that he should be punished for cheating. However, Blevins also says there should be consideration since Jarvis makes a living off of Fortnite as opposed to casual players who don't.
Oh my God.
I'm just trying to be a little realistic, okay? Saying that you shouldn't have favouritism in a little bit with content creators is just kind of silly. Oh, okay.
But he would be showing favouritism then, wouldn't they, if they didn't ban him because he makes so much, that's how he makes his living.
Well, that's kind of what he's saying there. Is I'm just trying to be realistic. Saying that you shouldn't have favouritism for content creators is silly, is what he's effectively saying. He feels that they should have a little bit of favouritism for content creators, which, I mean, going back to what I was saying before, I do feel if you deep dive into it, there's probably an argument or something there, but being so blunt and shitty with it will never get to that point, because by simplifying it, saying content creators should have favouritism, that's like saying Instagram influencers shouldn't have to pay for fish and chips at their local chippy because they'll post a bit. Fuck off. No, everyone has equal playing field, but I do feel what he's getting at, but really badly, is where this video that is actually, I'm going to click on this. Was it just him ranting on Twitch?
I've no idea, but they've put 109 images. Oh, every map location in Fortnite Chapter 2. I can't see that video.
Okay, the video is, it links through to YouTube. He's basically just chatting shit while playing a game. Okay, I'll give him the benefit of the doubt because, you know, we need to give a bit of favouritism towards content creators. I'll give him the benefit of that in the fact that if that was me, I can't chat and play games at the same time, can't multitask whatsoever, so I would probably be chatting shit badly there. So let's just assume with that. However, this obviously is a news article, so they're going to pull out those and make it look bad, because that's how you need to get the message across. Anyway, Blevins also tried to argue that other online creators have done much worse and received less punishment. However, the other members of Blevins' stream that night don't seem to fully agree with Blevins' logic. Jarvis K, who is a Fortnite player of the esports team FaZe, revealed that he received a permanent ban by Epic Games for using the namebot. Jarvis released a 6-minute video apologising for his actions and explaining that he never cheated in competition. When RGN reached out to Epic Games for a comment on the situation, developers reiterated its zero-tolerance policy for cheating. I mean, it's a difficult question, and when I'm saying Ninja's probably let's come back. When I'm saying Ninja's probably got a point there, that's me kind of saying I don't think it's that black and white, because there are so many different factors to be thrown in. It's easy to go, do you know what? He's cheated. Fuck him. He's ruined other. That is a good and easy opinion to have, to a conclusion to jump to. But when you start weighing in all sorts of other factors, I mean, not that any of it's excusable, which is why it's a difficult thing to discuss. But you look at whether esports is a fully developed and mature industry. Probably not. You look at content creation and content creators, is that a fully developed and mature medium? Definitely not. This guy is 17 years old. Is he a fully developed and mature person? Absolutely not. I mean, I was doing shit at fucking 25 and I was a dad at that point in time that probably wasn't fully developed and mature. 17 definitely wasn't. And FaZe, which is a massive name, a huge name, are they fully developed and mature? I mean, they're based in content creation and esports, and they probably aren't fully matured like the likes of a PlayStation or Microsoft or gaming brands. I mean, I don't know about FaZe, but I know from esports that a lot of brands, it's very much smoke and mirrors. Look at how cool we are. Yeah, look at this amazing thing that's all held together really solid. On the inside, you realise it's all held together by sticky back plastic and sellotape. It's the illusion kind of thing. So with all of that, I do feel that we kind of... There's a little bit of it that goes, okay, this is a kid. This is a kid that is trying to earn a living. This is a kid that people see 2 million and go, he's established, he should know better. I know content creators that have got millions of subs or followers or whatever, and they literally just said, well, it just happened. It just kind of blew up. And if things just blow up around you and you make it look good for so long, but you don't have that PR and media training and just common sense shit that you get, then it's easy to make stuff there. So him coming around then and saying, should they have a bit of favoritism? No one should have favoritism. Should there be a better way for content creators to be briefed, or the industry should that be more mature? Everything should be more mature and fully thought through. I agree with that. And like I said the other day, I think that probably falls on FaZe, and I don't see a brand doing it. I feel they need to go, look, he wasn't fully led. They're probably going to go, well, it's his channel, it's his content, but he's representing your brand, he's using your name, he's competing for you. You kind of need to have him under your wing. He needs his media training, he needs his content training, and that, I think, is systemic of content creation. A lot of people will make content creation, and we will perceive them as being massively successful brands, but are just blokes that make videos on the internet, but they just happen to have more people watching them than me and you would.
Do you want Bibby's bottom line on this?
Go on.
Is a hack a cheat?
Yes.
Then no. It's cut and dry like that. I mean, Ninja has put it horrifically, and he's come across as a proper piece of shit from an elitist point of view, saying he's a content creator, is one of us, he's got 2 million people watching your game. Cut him some slack. Nah, mate. If you're using cheats in a game, I don't care what game it is. It could be Call of Duty where you've got an aimbot. It could be Fortnite where you've got an aimbot. I don't give a shit if you've got 2 million subs or you haven't got social media. A cheat's a cheat. Get him out of here. The ban shouldn't be as long as it is. I fully agree with that.
That was probably my question. The bottom line for me isn't that. Is it a cheat? Yes. Should he be banned? Yes. Should he be banned for life? That's probably the bottom line that we want to hear. What's Bibby's bottom line on the lifetime ban? Should it be a lifetime?
6 to 12 months. And what's the point in banning his? I mean, banning his account would be hilarious because all the skins and shit that he's won over the years and his stats and shit would have gone to nothing.
I'm not gay.
And you'd have to start again, kind of thing. But yeah, as a professional, if that's how he wants to make his money, fair enough. He's got 2 million subs. He's going to be making money off YouTube somewhere down the line. FaZe may be paying him a salary to make content for him as well. I don't know. From what I've read on social media, it looks like FaZe are backing him and believe that they will probably try and appeal his ban. We'll see where that goes. But Bibby's bottom line is, you're a cheating little bastard. Deal with it. You've got fair enough. Your ban shouldn't be that long, but yeah, you've cheated. Get over it.
Yeah, I don't think that is the underlying issue for me. Like, people accept he cheated, and he's accepted.
Absolutely, yeah. He's come out. He's been a man about it, regardless of whether or not he's 17 or not. He's made this 6-minute apology video, and he's come out and said, I kind of deserved to be banned. I knew I was going to get banned. I knew something was going to happen, but I probably should have taken that into consideration, not made the content that I was intended on making. Because don't forget, he was making this to make a YouTube video. It wasn't as though he was just going in to ruin it for the sake of ruining it. He was going to make content, which again is probably where Ninja's coming from. Again, worded horrifically and made himself look stupid.
Yeah, I mean, I will. It's proper dick words, especially if I'm not going to read them out again. Read them out already. They are shit words. I will. I mean, I'm not pro or negative. Ninja is obviously hugely successful content creator. I reckon he's probably just worded it badly whilst he's playing games on stream. I mean, I don't know. I've not watched the full video. From what I quickly glanced at, that kind of maybe what the situation is. He could have stopped and had a one-on-one with the camera. I don't know. Yeah. Anyway, so he's done fucked up in his wording there. FaZe has done fucked up. I don't think. I kind of get the sense from looking at it though that a lot of people are anti-content creator because it's you're not earning a real living, you're not doing a proper job, you're sat there playing video games and you've cheated, but I feel that's probably a too simplistic way of looking at it in terms of you working in dark mines, doing a proper job and stuff. Yeah, but mines have been worked in for hundreds of years, and people understand that system, and we know what happens. Content creation is something brand new. That's like someone digging the first mine and going, "Hey, everyone, get in that hole. It's really good." And then it collapses, and they go, "Shit, we need to fucking put sticks in to make sure." And then everyone starts putting sticks in, and then suddenly people just drop down. Oh, there's not enough air. We need to get a bird in a cage and shit like that. Mistakes were made along the way in any industry, and he's made a fucking big fuck off mistake, but. For me, rather than going down the scapegoaty, blame centric, it's how do we take this forward then? And if FaZe and Jarvis want to do something about it, they need to be kind of like, okay, we want to make an initiative that educates content creators,
Yeah.
that educates esports stars around this sort of thing. But that's probably too big a picture. Like I say, FaZe themselves, I mean, do you want to be that political as an esports brand that's cool and down with the kids? And probably not. So they're probably just going to go, fuck this. Oh well.
Yeah, they're in a tough situation that at the moment is kind of out of their hands. As I said before, the 17-year-old lad's been man enough to come out and own his mistakes. That's step one kind of thing. Like his video comes across as super apologetic as well. He knew that he may end up having a repercussion. He didn't realise it was going to be as severe as it was.
Just want to say I'm playing devil's advocate. I'm letting Bibby like smash it down, whereas I'm fighting for him. Although he did monetize his apology video. That's all I'm saying. Just saying.
It's at the end of the day is a big fish in a massive pond. So he's doing well for himself, but even so, like, hacks are bad, regardless of what age you are. Like, you're a cheat. Like, I don't know what to say that hasn't already been said. Like, he's got to learn from it. He's probably learned from his mistakes already, and the ball is out of his side of the court at the moment.
Something that has been said in the chat is Ninja has been a piece of shit for a while now, says Shogun Ash Live. Interesting comment. Just jump back, because there has been quite a lot of discussion since we moved on. Dark Sector, what a throwback. That was actually a decent game. I actually quite enjoyed it. Fallout New Vegas is the dog's nana. Beautiful men.
It is.
I don't know if Shogun's talking about us or just what he wants on a morning. Yo, sure. Beautiful woman. Oh, you. Anyway, 12-month and a public apology, perhaps. See, I agree more in that sort of line. I think you can ban someone for a year and have a big impact. I mean, completely different situation, and deserves no months rather than 12 or 6 months, but Blitzchung got 12 months, and everyone was kind of up in arms in the fact that 12 months, that's kind of ruining his life.
Yeah.
And it's like, well, we understand that 12 months can ruin a competitive gamer's life, but now 12 months is not enough. So which side of the coin? And I know you can apply
one's been from being
to
political and one's been from being a cheat.
Yeah, but that's like taking that away, looking at the length of the bans.
Yeah.
The issue with people were having was kind of like, okay, if you're going to do it, give him a slap on the wrist. Don't take his prize money. Don't ban him for 12 months. Don't this, that and the other. But I think he definitely deserves a solid year. I mean, that for me would be, do you know what, you are banned for a year. I don't think that from an Epic's perspective, how do they do this now? Because they can't, without some intervention from, like I said, when I keep saying FaZe should do something, without them doing it, what do Epic do? Oh yeah, we're going to climb down now from they've doubled down on their, no, we zero tolerance on cheating, which there should be zero tolerance on cheating. It's just whether the punishment fits the crime of a 17-year-old knobhead. Because that's essentially all he's been in my perspective. The punishment should be the same across the board. Arise, Sir Bibber. Ninja is a massive penis. Because of cheats and hackers, I stopped playing PUBG for the PC 3 days after getting it, so I have no sympathy. Let's just shoot Jarvis, and then nobody will cheat again, says Dad and Lad Gaming. Thank you very much, Guns Gutaku. I'll say that again. Guns Guntaku for the puns. And Pez Community, you two guys, thank you very much for the hosts. Much appreciated. So yeah, I mean, you can see it in the chat. There's a lot of... we're getting name throwing around in the chat. We're getting extremist wording. I don't mean that in a terroristic sort of way.
I don't think Ninja is a piece of shit. I think what he's grown a fan base of people who want to watch him be good. And let's be honest, he's fucking incredible at Fortnite. That his builds, his shots, everything about it. He's got a very, I don't want to say niche, but he's got a demographic of people that want to watch him that are probably kids that actually play Fortnite, but still, like, what he's done for esports and what he's done for the whole gaming scene, propelling it. I mean, with the help of Drake. Let's be real. I didn't know who he was until he played with Drake.
Did you not?
I had absolutely no idea, mate. Absolutely no idea.
I mean, I'd heard of him a few times, but I'd seen some of his like PUBG stuff and like H1 stuff, but I remember seeing it, but I wouldn't have ever known, like, tagged it to him till probably about a month or two before the Drake thing. And I remember it was Chris Tunn from EGL. Shout out to Tunn. I know you're watching, even though you're not mentioning it. I know you're there. I know. He was talking about this video, and I think I mentioned it before, where Ninja was like running to the circle, and this guy behind him was just... Ninja was so good and this guy was so bad that rather than killing him, he just kept building walls around him so that the blue eventually killed him.
I think you showed me that.
It was just like, oh, that's amazing.
But yeah, I mean, I haven't got a bad word to say about Ninja. because I don't know him, and from what I've seen in other clips, he doesn't come across well when he's talking. Like, yeah, they had the whole "I don't want to play with the women" thing about a year ago.
Yeah, because I don't want people making up stories.
Yeah, I don't think he comes across well with his words unless he's got some, like his wife or someone PR doing something for him. But that's a bit, you're being a live streamer, you say shit that you probably shouldn't say, or it just falls out your face.
I think that's always a danger. I mean, I always take stuff like that with a pinch because I know how easy it is to say something wrong. I've said shit that's been lifted by world press about Hideo Kojima. So, and Metal Gear Solid, that was something that happened ages ago. Well, I won't dig it up, but I have said shit that I didn't mean in the way that it was taken. But I'm flapping my words, talking over myself. It's all come out shit or whatever. So any of that sort of stuff, I know how easy it is to fuck up. So anything said, particularly when some guy's building walls, dropping 90s and headshotting folks from that middle, I can, whatever. I mean, shit comment, definitely a shit comment. I feel what he's probably trying to unpack. I do agree that I don't agree that there should be any favouritism, not at all. However, I believe that there should be education on both sides of the coin. I believe that content creators should adhere to terms of service and strict codes of conduct that everyone else should adhere to. But I believe that the organisations that they represent should be they're taking some of the flack for them. So it's not just 17-year-old kid makes stupid decision. It should be FaZe employee makes decision. He receives reprimand from FaZe because they've been reprimanded. Yeah. In the same way that if someone whilst working does something, they're not going to get banned from, like, I don't know, cleaning the streets. Let's say you clean the streets and you have a shit in the middle of the road. Fuck knows why this is where I'm going for it. But you're not
to Graham's brain, ladies and gentlemen.
You're not going to get banned from cleaning the streets. What's going to happen is your work are going to get slapped the fuck around, and then you are going to get reprimanded or suspended or whatever, and your work kind of drops out on you. And I know it's a different situation in games and everything, but I feel like that sort of route around would gloss over the fact that a 17-year-old kid, because he is a kid, and maybe it's because I'm an old dad now that I'm coming down that sort of standpoint. I know it's easy for people to make mistakes when they're young and inexperienced and they've not learned those. So the issue, I mean, the thing with life is we all fuck up, we all make mistakes. And learning from those mistakes and moving forward is what makes us better at things. But how can you do that if your first mistake is an instant permaban?
Yeah.
But that's my 2 cents. Let's move forward anyway. We've spoken about cheating for quite a while.
This is the last one we've got, but it's some good news for those of you that are actually still enjoying playing Modern Warfare. It's a nice bit of Freemans for you, ladies and gentlemen.
Some Freemans?
Freemans.
Go on then, babe. Let's hear those sultry, sexy reading.
Well,
times.
I found a new website, because I'm always on look. If you've got a good news website that you haven't seen featured on the Scoop, then feel free to send it over to us. But I found another one. It seems like a multiplayer sports site, esports site, what shall we say?
I mean, what gives you that name?
Well, it's from a source on Multiplayer First, and it has been written by Alex Coe, and it's Modern Warfare new maps coming tomorrow. That's today. Activision says community are happy with content plans. Tired of the Modern Warfare maps? Well, if you are, Infinity Ward will try and remedy to see that somewhat, as the studio will launch a few Modern Warfare new maps tomorrow alongside the Hardpoint game mode. This was announced over Twitter today. Again, this was yesterday.
The studio will launch a few Modern Warfare new maps.
Yeah.
A few new maps for Modern Warfare.
Yeah, it's
along with the Hardpoint game mode. Okay.
So yeah, we've got a tweet here via Call of Duty that says free maps and Hardpoint coming to #Modern Warfare. New multiplayer map, Shoot House. New ground war map, Krovnik Farmland, and then Hardpoint game mode. Free for all players. Available Friday, the 8th of November. I don't know why the Americans put the month first. It always sends me west. But yeah, a new multiplayer map called Shoot House is coming, though we don't know what if this is for 6v6 or 10v10 or both. And a new map for ground war called Krovnik Farmland. Fan favourite mode Hardpoint is also making a return too. While these maps are a welcome respite for what we're playing right now, this new content will undoubtedly come via a patch, which will include some much needed gameplay tweaks that Infinity Ward have shared will be released before the week is is over. Continuing Modern Warfare content plans during today Activision earnings call, the publisher said that the community response to Modern Warfare's in-game content plans were positive. Hopefully this positivity will translate to a ton of post-launch content, which we're expecting, as there are over 30 maps found in the game's files.
Wow, 30 maps, that's pretty substantial.
For free as well. This isn't like, here's your season pass, £8 please. This is like a good... I mean, I've seen people saying that the maps are getting boring already, so the fact that they're still bringing them out, two new maps and a new game mode, well, a return of a game mode, but yeah, it's a...
Return of the mode.
When did this game come out? 2 weeks ago? 3 weeks ago?
Something like that.
And they're already getting new content, so that's great.
Was it 25th of October? I think it was. Let's have a look. When was 25th? Friday 25th, yeah, there we go.
3 weeks ago?
No, 2 weeks to the day.
Oh, right. 2 weeks today, and they're releasing 2 new maps and putting a new game mode in. That's great, really, isn't it? Get for free as well. Can't argue with that.
Yeah, I think that is kind of what they need. I mean, one of the comments in there, which I think is kind of being written favourably, probably ignoring the animosity, is the community's response to Modern Warfare's in-game content plans were positive. Yeah, but that's because the community's response to fixing a piece of shit usually is positive. Not that I'm saying entirely the game is a piece of shit. I haven't played it. But from what I've seen, people that started out positive... I remember the game comes out on the Friday. All I saw on Friday night and all I saw on Saturday on social media was, fuck me, this campaign. Yeah. Bam!
Smoking!
And then, by the time you get to Monday, Tuesday, the following week, it's like fucking multiplayer in COD. I mean, literally that Monday is when we were sharing that crossing a street in Modern Warfare.
And the claymores, and then obviously the shotguns being nearly good sniper rifles and stuff like that. So if the gameplay tweaks fix all that, then they have got a pretty decent game. But I know people saying... Precision, I know, a friend of the show, he's hosted us quite a few times, has stated that if he didn't buy this game digital, he probably would have traded it in by now. Because he's completed the campaign, he was over the moon with that, and he'd probably pay £20 just to be able to play just the campaign rather than the multiplayer, but the multiplayer seems to have gone backwards this time.
See, I'm happy with them doing that. The thing for me is the comments that I've seen from the likes of Precision and Colour, it's the map design. Precision, I think the way that he phrased it was he misses the old 3-lane sort of style that used to get the maps. Haven't played the map, so I can't say that. All I've seen is, I remember watching the Piccadilly thing going, oh, been there. But then thinking, people are just coming from everywhere, which is why when you've got unpredictable, like you could gag them from the back, from the sides, from above, coming up from the subways, and then that's when it starts to come. Okay, that's when you get people panic camping. I'm just going to sit here now because if I move, I'm going to get fecked. What's the pale drinks on the desk? Oh, we'll show you them again in a sec. But how do you fix that? You can't fix that. No. The only way you can fix that is to drastically amend the map, and that never happens. When have you known a map on a Call of Duty game to be tweaked? Actually, do you know what? We realised that the left lane on the map is elevated, and you can see the middle lane and the right lane. So we're just going to go, drop the whole landscape down. It won't happen, which then kind of gets to that point of, okay, this is a bit fucked from that perspective. But as one of the comments, did you say, or did you read it out saying that there was 30 maps or something coming? Or maybe it was. Yeah,
there was 2 new maps. There was a map file of 30. 30 map files in the background.
There are over 30 maps found in the game files. That's it. So by the time you got the extra maps, and you might be thinking, okay, if Piccadilly is a shower of shit with campers, then maybe the other 29 maps within there, we might have some decent stuff coming. So at the moment, from a multiplayer perspective, it doesn't sound like it's gone through the rigorous sort of testing and playthrough that we'd kind of expect, but maybe some of the other maps might.
I'm trying to find some tweets that I've seen of Syndicate having a... Did you see it? Him and Dr. Disrespect. Well, he started out in Dr. Disrespect.
No.
Telling him he's like he needs to grow up or something, like he's been a little bitch because of all the claymores, because obviously the doc was raging about the claymores and the shotguns and stuff like that. And I'm trying to find the tweets, but I can't seem to find them. I'm sure it was a few days ago, but obviously Syndicate tweets a lot. But basically he was raging with the fact that Dr. Disrespect apparently isn't... rolling with the punches or getting used to it. I can't find. There we go.
You need to man the fuck up on Modern Warfare. I swear, all you do is whine. Don't like something, learn to counter it. You're acting like the OMA noob tubes or one man army. That's it. You're acting like the one man army noob tubes on Modern Warfare 2 didn't exist, or the M16 and 3x frags on COD 4 never happened. Man up, bitch. Fuck.
Something tells me though that this is Syndicate isn't like that. He isn't like that. I've never known him to. He's all about positive vibes and stuff like that. So I'm thinking that there could be a tournament coming up soon. There could be a 2v2 or a 5v5 Boom.tv tournament.
Claymore's my ass. Learn to run the right perk setups, or even better. So, how about you design another map on stream, which you think would be better, so people can just jump on that as well?
That's what I mean. Like, I've never known Syndicate to go after someone like this before. So I've got a funny feeling that there will be a tournament that them two are going to be in soon. And they're going to be playing against each other and just starting to start some imaginary beef. But notably, the doc has not replied, and the doc replies to everything, especially if someone's got a tick next to the name. So I definitely keep an eye on this. Follow them both. Keep an eye on this shit, because it's going to be going down at some point, and I do have a feeling that it's going to be over a tournament situation.
Interesting though. Like, when was this? November 6th. So this was only 2 days ago.
Yeah.
Like, that has to be charged. Or is like when I say charged in terms of, it has to be PR, it has to be build up stuff, or it's blind blinkered, because I don't play Modern Warfare. I don't watch doc streaming Modern Warfare. I do watch doc streaming. I watched a bit of Modern Warfare the other day. Kind of got bored of watching it. I watched a bit of Fortnite stuff. Watched it. So I do watch the doc jump in and out. But I can see the Modern Warfare isn't what I would spend my life doing it. So if I can see that, and Syndicate, obviously, COD was his starting avenue of content. If he can't see that, and I mean, he's talking about the one man army noobs and stuff like that, but all he does is whine. Just because there was one man army noob tubes, and just because you had akimbo shotguns that had like 50,000 blast radius on Modern Warfare 2 or whatever, just because that exists doesn't mean that you should just man the fuck up and accept it and learn to counter it. You can't, if you're already countering different classes and claymores and campers and shit. That for me just means that it needs tweaking. But
I definitely think there's more to this, and I do think that I'm sure they've made content together before at an event. I'm racking my brain now. I'm fairly certain I've seen them both standing on a stage together. I know he's obviously good friends with Shroud. But I'm sure he's done it with Syndicate as well, where they've both played in a competition together. So there's got to be an alternative motive behind this, but I don't know where it's going to come from. But I've just seen Craig type in the chat. I was watching Completed It Mate, which is James Buckley, Jay from the In-Betweeners channel. He was playing it yesterday in one of the smaller maps, but players were spawning with RPGs and firing them across the map just as the countdown starts the match and taking out the entire team in 2 seconds. That sounds like fucking hell to me. I was saying to Graham before I went live today, I've been playing a lot of Battlefield, whether or not Bad Company 2, 3, 4, and more notably 5 over the last 2 or 3 weeks. And 5 for me, after playing it yesterday for a few hours, it's a game that I absolutely adore because of how tactical it is. Like, you're not playing team deathmatch in a very small section. You are a team of 32 people playing against a team of another 32 people, and you're taking away 6 points. So you're going A, B, C, D, E, F. You have to try and capture them. Now, if you've got like-minded people that are in your sub-squads, you're going to go and capture A, you're going to capture B, you're going to defend C when it comes to it. That's perfect for me. But these little small maps, like you're saying, being able to throw a grenade from one side of the map to the other, blowing them up, nah, mate, that's not me.
See,
I can't be arsed with that.
I throwing a grenade from one side of the map to the other. I mean, anyone who's played Shipment on Modern Warfare 4, you're pretty much in a box of boxes. Yeah. So that kind of happens. I used to do the same thing. Like, he's got M16 and 3 frags on COD 4. I mean, I was never M16. I was always M4. I was always M16. Or an RPD or something like that. But 3 frags, you just launch and you go one down the middle, one down each side. So the one down the middle hits anyone still there at the spawn point. The one down each side, you hit people that are coming down the avenues to get you. And then, if you didn't have that, you'd stick a fucking claymore somewhere and sit in a crate and just go. I remember getting Lee sat watching me. I think I might have mentioned this before. Getting a 25 kill streak or whatever just on one dinner in the office on that from being a sweaty nasty.
Yeah. But LMGs on Modern Warfare 2 was like, that was proper sweat for me. I used to use LMGs all the time.
You get Juggernaut and what was the bullet penetration? Oh well, bullet penetration was in there anyway. But like shipment as well. You could shoot through the crates, so you just kind of like you'd see someone run into it, and you just sit there with an RPD and just go.
But yeah, I mean, there's definitely something else behind this. I just thought I'd drop in because I seen it yesterday, just pissing myself, thinking, oh, it's going to be juicy. There's something going to be happening, but the doc's not responded, which I'm pissed about.
Interesting thing though is what makes me think that this might not be is there is some toxic masculinity. That's a phrase that is quite relevant at the moment in terms of like getting the male way of. Do you know what? We'll just like, I mean, you can compare it to British stiff upper lip, just like deal with shit. But the way that he's written, you need to man the fuck up, and then ends it with man up, bitch. That for me then makes me think maybe it's not, because telling someone to man up it's that sort of level of men deal with stuff, women don't, or man up, bitch, that's like double down, and then with a triple down sort of comment at the end. That then kind of makes me think, okay, maybe it's not something like that.
Well, there's only one way that this is ever going to get sorted out, and that is by playing the game, because I don't think Tom's going to fly over to America to go and meet him face to face, kind of thing. And it's like, why?
No one's going to be face to face.
No, okay, he's going to be tit to face. He's going to be nipple to face. But yeah, I do think now you've said it like that, there could be something behind it. But I do think this is aiming towards some type of 2v2 tournament, wherever that's going to be, whether or not, because I think both of them are COD partners, aren't they?
Yes, I'd imagine so.
So I'll be very interested, because as COD partners, surely it's like two game changers going after each other. I don't think they do that.
Well, reading his bio, I used to film every day of my life travelling the world, but then Call of Duty Modern Warfare came out. If that's not a stinking of a COD partner, then don't waste. So it could be.
I think they've got the watermarks, because Doc definitely does have a watermark on his screen.
Yeah, the Call of Duty partner.
Yeah.
Break had the same when he was playing it as well.
So I don't think. I think it's got something else behind this, but again, like the way that you just put it there, it wouldn't surprise me if it was just like, oh, pissed off, man, and then just.
Yeah, it could be that, or it could be a bit of both. It could be a case of they want to drum up the PR beef, like Doc and Shroud having beef, which Doc was really good at accelerating it, but maybe the way someone's just gone to him, call Doc out. And then he's gone, man the fuck up!
Yeah.
And then everyone's gone, no, not like that. Let's just ignore that and we'll try it again in a couple of weeks' time or something like that.
But again, I'd love this guy. I haven't watched Syndicate stuff. Like I did watch his stuff. I don't watch his stuff recently. If I do watch it, it's usually him streaming something. But obviously a big Doc fan anyway, so I'd like to be able to see this being the next, not Shroud, because Shroud's a fucking Donny, innit?
No one.
Shroud is the Donny.
Dr. Disrespect always reminds me of Suz TV's Mullet Man. I don't remember that. That's straight over my head. But one thing I will jump back on, because I've just seen the comment again, is what are the pale drinks on the desk? I mean, we're absolutely not being paid to do this, but it's the second time we've showed them off. These little sexy, beautiful things, as you can see, they're loading. So these drinks are pale ale created by, so if I read the back, publisher, Loading Bar, developer, Brass Castle Brewery. Walkthrough. Loading Pale is a winning combo of wheat, hops, and barley. This unlocks a next-level taste, giving longer sessions that vital boost. So basically, Loading Bar is a friend of the channel. It's basically a number of bars, a chain of bars, and they've, as opposed to just providing gaming spaces and experience and events and somewhere to just go and get some food and drink, they've now started making their own canned drinks, and because they're lovely people, they've sent us some. So we've put them in pride of place. It's not an ice cream beer. We can't take the credit for that, even though it's kind of a good colour scheme for ice cream, though. So yeah, that's what it is.
But I think that's it, mate.
So Ninja's a dick. Syndicate's a dick. FaZe Jarvis is a dick. Outer Worlds doesn't play on Bibby's PC, so it's a dick. And they're all dicks. I think that's the news.
Dicks of the week.
Dicks of the week. Yeah. Sweet. And on that crisp high five, ladies and gentlemen, it's time to wrap up another week of the scoop. Let me close everything, make sure I got it. It's all good. We got everything. So, ladies and gentlemen, if you want to hit ! socials in the chat if you're watching live, twitch.tv/Ice Cream Uploads. As a reminder, I've told you already, but I will tell you again, we will be live. I say live, the video will be live on YouTube a little bit later on. This as a standalone, on-demand piece of video content for you guys to consume. And if you don't want to watch any YouTube content, you can't watch live on Twitch, and you just want to hear the mellow sounds of the Bibberino, dropping his bottom line all over your face, well, all in your ears, then you can listen on your favourite podcast services. Check out twitter.com/Ice Cream Uploads. All the links will be on there a little bit later on today. Plans for the weekend, babe?
I will be streaming tomorrow night. Obviously, you're welcome to join. And anybody else that has either FIFA Pro Clubs or has a copy of Battlefield, Mrs. Bibby will be out tomorrow evening, so you can join me live on this channel as we play through both of those games that I've just mentioned, which is FIFA Pro Clubs and Battlefield 5. So yeah, do feel free to at me on Twitter with your grief or your support, one of the two, and yeah, we'll hook up for a few hours, babies.
So if you can see on the video services, our links, our Twitter links are on the screen, at We've Got Babinho for Bibby and at Graham_Day for me. And don't forget, at Ice Cream Uploads for everything else that is ice cream. And until then, ladies and gentlemen, tune in for Bibby streams tomorrow. Have yourselves a beautiful weekend and make sure to stay frosty.